5 years and still talking. This is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Hey there, everybody. How are you? I'm Alex Bennett, and this is the Ramble. Yeah, I hope I'm not out of sync. I can't tell when I'm out of sync and not out of sync. But what you want to get into sync? I'll tell you how we get into sync. We go check with our old friend, Will Durst. I'm reaching for his cup of Joe. I got mine here. Okay, my big red cup, my famous red cup.
We have a cup with Debbie and I in a limousine on the way to the Comedy Awards.
Oh, really? Did you win anything at the Comedy Awards?
No, 7 years I was nominated, 7 years I lost.
7 years in a row you were nominated?
Yeah.
And
I lost to Bill Hicks. I lost to Carrot Top. I lost to, can't remember. Dom Herrera, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hicks and
7
Herrera.
years, got to go, though.
Huh?
Got to go 7 years.
Yeah. And
Down to L.A., put me up at the Four Seasons. That was fun.
yeah. Well, that was nice. What was it? Comedian of the Year or something like that?
It was George Schlatter put it together, the Comedy Awards.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Yeah. They don't do them anymore?
1 year, Tommy Smothers followed Debbie and I back to our room because she had pot. And 1 year, Rodney Dangerfield came downstairs. He was obviously staying at the Four Seasons. Came downstairs to the bar in a bathrobe with two hookers on his arms.
Oh, boy.
And I don't know if he was, physically able to actually perform at that point.
Yeah.
Or if he was just making a point.
Do they hold those awards any longer?
No.
No. Schlatter got tired of it, or he lost the network affiliation or something like that.
Yeah, it was on ABC, and then they moved to Comedy Central for a couple of years, and then it just went away.
It just went away. Oh, that's how much it was worth winning.
Yeah.
There are other comedy awards, aren't there?
I don't think so. I don't know.
Really?
Hey, I'm involved in a project.
Yeah.
With a guy named Pat Johnson.
Yeah, he's the photographer.
Right.
Yeah.
And he's doing a book of all the comics that because he does rock and roll, he does comedy, he does sports.
Right.
But all the comics, because he did a lot in the early 80s and 90s, and you're in there.
Yeah?
Yeah. And wants to get a couple of quotes from you.
Oh.
And I have the thing right here, the questions that we're going to ask, because we're going to add, there's going to be a photo from the 80s, and then hopefully a photo, current photo, or maybe not.
Well, current photos of me scare little children, so I wouldn't suggest it. It would not be a family book.
Yeah, you're right. So the questions that they want to ask are, do you remember that time in San Francisco when you got that photo taken?
No, because I was doing coke at the time.
Okay. In the 80s, San Francisco was described as the left bank of comedy. Do you think it was different than any other scene?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It was much more. I mean, I can't speak for other scenes because
Right.
I wasn't there. I hear the only one similar to San Francisco was Boston. And that was more a drunken bacchanal. Whereas San Francisco was like very, what could I call it? Everybody cared about everybody else. Everybody gave advice to everybody else. Everybody was there for everybody else. It wasn't a competitive atmosphere as much as it was a collaborative atmosphere. Does that make sense?
Yes, very much. And one of the things that I maintain as well.
Yeah.
Because there was no money.
Yeah.
In New York and LA, there was, you were competing for money. There was no money in Boston or San Francisco.
Yeah,
that's why the community's built up.
The trouble was that if you were in San Francisco, your object was to eventually move to L.A. and have a career down there.
Well, yeah.
Okay, but that was when you were starting out, San Francisco was a great place to be because it was so collaborative and it was so nurturing. There's another term I would use for it. I don't know how it is now, but it was then. So.
Oh, it always changes.
Yeah. Who the hell is? Who's calling you?
I don't know. 863 number.
Oh, okay.
That's Monterey.
Yeah.
Where were you in your career when the picture was taken? Do you remember anything about the shoot?
Okay, to begin with, I vaguely remember the shoot. Vaguely. But I would have to see the picture to make sure that I remembered it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, next time I'll bring the picture.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all. Just 3 questions.
That's it, huh? Okay, well, that was easy.
Yeah. So we're gonna try to get all the comics who were there. A couple other radio guys, Don Blue, and Terry McGovern, and Dr. Don Rose.
Yeah.
Who's not going to be answering many questions.
No, he's dead.
Yeah.
The others didn't do that many comedians, though. Although, I did.
Don Blue didn't.
Terry McGovern, I don't know. Did Terry? He was a comedian himself.
He was more. Yeah, he was more of a voice guy than a radio guy.
Yeah.
He would fill in like Sarlot.
Yeah. So,
you were the guy, as I explained it, you were the guy who taught us radio, because we had been on radio shows before, few and far between, but we had been on. And what would happen is you would go in, and the host or the talent was on the air, and you would get met by a producer who would sit you down,
right,
and ask you to give them 3 questions for the host to ask. He couldn't figure out what to ask you, so he would write those down, and they would disappear, and then they would come back in 20 minutes, and you would go on the air, and he would ask you the questions that were on the little piece of paper that you wrote.
Yep.
And he wouldn't listen to the answers. And then you were done in 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah, he would be looking elsewhere at things while you were answering the question. Worst part was
come in at 7 a.m. You started at 6 with Joe or Lori or whoever was there, and did an hour, and then you had us come in at 7, and then we co-hosted the show for 3 hours.
Yeah.
So we had to learn how to,
how to pace yourself. You also had to learn something else, not to do material.
Right.
That doing material only wasted your act to begin with, but that it just sounds so canned and never fell into the flow of the discussion. I always just tell comedians, just follow the discussion. Just throw in your witticisms, but don't
conversation. Yeah.
Don't think about, here's a joke from my act, and now I'll just drop this in here. When I had comedians who did that, I never had them back. Because it
did happen occasionally.
Oh, it happened a lot.
Yeah.
But I mean, the reason I never had them back was it didn't do me any good.
No, and it sounded weird.
Yeah, but somebody like you come in, you just you create jokes for that moment.
Speaking from the comics,
I
say that we were getting mixed messages, not from you, but radio guys, because there were radio guys who wanted you to do material, who would get angry if you tried to treat it as a conversation, because afterwards, man, you're supposed to be funny. That's what I have you in here for. And so we had to be the servant of many masters. We had to, adapt. But think of all the guys that were on your show that went into radio. I mean, there are tons of guys.
And think of how many of those failed at it. They kept other stations, because I had comedians on, their idea was, well, we'll just hire a comedian. That's the worst idea they could have. And the reason it's the worst idea they could have, number one, comedians have about 45 minutes worth of material, and then they're through, okay?
Right. Right.
They don't know how to ad lib for 4 hours. Okay, that's for starters. But secondly, you have a comedian bring in another comedian. That comedian who's the host is going to feel competitive towards the comedian who's the guest.
Right.
I never felt competitive because I wasn't a comic.
Worry about who gets the bigger laugh.
I just cared that you guys got laughs, and I sat back and got the paycheck. You know?
Yeah, the show looked good.
Exactly.
It wasn't the Bob Rubin show with Alex Bennett on it. It was the Alex Bennett show with Bob Rubin.
Well, who did they throw up against me? What's his name?
Bedore.
Did they hire Bedore for something? No, they hired Marty.
Cohen?
Marty Cohen. Yeah, to go opposite me over at KNEW. Yeah, failed miserably. Okay, just failed miserably. When I left, they had Johnny Steele do my show.
Yeah, he did all right until he got bumped from.
Well, he got bumped because he wasn't doing all right. You know.
No, he got bumped by Howard.
No, but he also got bumped because he wasn't. You know, they knew he was a place filler to begin with. But I mean, I heard that show. He didn't do radio very well. He didn't know how to do it.
Well, Johnny doesn't have jokes. He's just a funny guy.
Yeah.
He has funny bones, as they say.
Yeah. Well,
So
I could go back to that whole thing and tell you how Johnny got his job by stabbing me in the back. Yeah.
I know that.
He used to go into after he was on my show, he would go into the general manager and kiss his ass for about a half hour and then cry and weep that I was treating him badly.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. Until he finally got the job, and I found out he was getting the job because it turned out the guy who was my agent was his agent. At which point we told my agent, you stop being his agent, or, you know, we're taking you to court because that's illegal.
Who was the agent?
I'm trying to remember his name now. I can't remember it right now. He was the only radio agent in town. And he represented me, and he got a decent amount of money because I was making a decent amount of money. And when he saw I was going, he started representing Johnny. Well, that's wrong. You know, you don't negotiate the exit of one person and negotiate the entrance of the other. And so, I mean, Johnny.
It's a way to keep yourself in the game.
Yeah. So I have no fond feelings for Johnny. You know, because he was just a little wimpy asshole who went in every day and cried to the boss, oh, he's terrible to me, and give me the job, give me the job, give me the job.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. So when it was time to go, they went and got Johnny, and Johnny didn't do very well. The ratings tanked. They just tanked terribly.
Well, Slayton did radio. Remember, Slayton did...
Well, it was comedy. It was called Comedy World, I think. Was what it was called.
On the internet. It was just internet, wasn't it?
Well, it was internet, but no, they were trying to sell to radio stations too. They brought me in on that thing, or tried to bring me in on that thing.
Wasn't he with Sue Murphy?
Yeah, did a show with Sue Murphy, and it was out of this big warehouse in L.A. that they had turned into a radio studio, and you know, I mean, it was a big operation. They got a lot of money to put that thing together. It was supposed to be 24/7 comedy, okay, on radio. To begin with, you can't do it on radio because if they want to get dirty, they can't. All right, so that's for starters. Okay, you can't do the blue material. So the guy who was running it brought me down there and said, we'd like to talk to you about coming down here and being part of this. And you know. They didn't want, I don't know if they wanted to give me a show or they wanted me to consult it or whatever, but they wanted me to leave San Francisco, come to L.A., and go in on this thing. And I was in San Francisco at that time. I was making somewhere upwards to $400,000 a year.
Jeez.
Okay, and they asked me what I wanted, and I said $500,000 a year, and they said, "Oh, we don't have that kind of money." I went, well, you're paying Slayton $100,000 a year, I knew that. I said, you're paying all these other comics that, and you can't pay me $500,000 a year to consult and do a show when I'm the guy who knows how it's done. They said no. I said, well, then take it and shove it. I'll stay in San Francisco.
Yeah.
So I stayed in San Francisco and got fired. So anyway, no, they didn't fire me. They had to pay off my contract.
How many years did you have left?
I had about 14 months left. So they had to keep paying that 14 months. Yeah. Everybody said, what's it like to make that kind of money and, not have to work for it? And I said, terrible, because literally it's worth it to somebody to pay you $350,000, $400,000 a year not to come in. Stay away. We'll pay you this money. Just stay away. I said, it's insulting,
Well, when Will and Willie, me and Mayor Brown, when we did our little show, we did it for 11 months.
Yeah.
Well, we actually did it for like 13 months. The first 2 months were just a tryout.
Mm-hmm.
And we did it for 11 months, and it was supposed to be for 13 months, so we got paid for 2 months to go away.
Yeah. So you know how that one feels.
But only for 2 months.
Actually,
at a much lower scale.
A story I may never have told you is the reason you got to do that show was because I turned it down.
Oh, really?
Yes, I was brought in to my friend Ed Krampf.
Yeah.
Who I had been fired twice before. Wait, how many times had he fired me at that point? He fired me twice, maybe.
Camel?
No, he wasn't a cameo. No, he was he was at Live 105. Yeah, I guess this would be the second time if he fired me from that. But he called me. I was where was I? I just went in. I went in to see him. He wanted to see me, and I was in San Francisco. And I went in to see him, and he sat down, and he said, so listen, we're thinking of doing a morning show here, like you used to do. Do you know anybody who would want the job? He had to put it in that way because I was working for Sirius, and that would have been trying to steal somebody from somebody else, so you put it in those terms.
Yeah.
And I thought about it for a second, and I went, well, how much money? And they said, I don't know, a couple $100,000 a year. I said, that was more than I was making it serious. But I said, my immediate response was, I'll let you know when I hear of somebody. So I didn't take him up on it and say, hey, me.
Yeah.
And so then the next thing they did was they hired you guys,
Yeah.
which wasn't a bad idea.
Paul Wells put that through.
He put it through?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The problem is, they put us immediately out in the public, so it was a live studio audience.
Yeah, maybe you weren't ready for that.
At the Vitale, it was in the lobby of this hotel right on the Embarcadero.
Yeah.
And I think that we should have gotten our chops together in a studio first, and then go.
Well, you to begin with, you don't want to do that kind of remote every day, because in the studio you have more control over the product than you do when you're out at a location. Okay, I mean, we got it down pretty well when we did it, but we didn't do it every day. You do it maybe once every month or something like that. You do the rest in the studio where you can control the output. So that's just my advice, but it's a little late to give it.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
And then a couple of times we had to go back into the studio, and it was a little, it was noticeably tighter. Not like 30% tighter, but it was, like 10% tighter.
Yeah.
And that's a lot when you're talking about radio.
I mean, I had a live studio audience, but I had them in the studios, in the radio
studios. For a while,
studios.
you only did it on Fridays.
Well, no. I always, in the very beginning when I was at KMEL.
Yeah.
But when I went to the Quake, it was studio audience every day.
Okay.
But they were in the studios. They weren't out like at the Punchline.
But there was only like 12 seats.
We had 12 seats in the studio, and then we had people be able to stand outside the studio and watch it. Sometimes we had like 50 people there.
Man, people come up to me all the time saying, I snuck out of school and went down there, and people are always telling me that was one of the highlights of their high school or college, and people. Yeah.
At the radio station, we could accommodate, I think, comfortably about 50 people.
50?
Huh?
50?
50, yeah, because we had the studio, and then we could open this huge window that looked onto another room where we put chairs, and so we could put the rest of the people there once we got the overflow. Our largest overflow was 1,000, I think. There was this one day when we had Jackie Chan on the same show with Tori Amos.
Oh my God.
And there was a line out the door of the building that they said there were close to 1,000 people out there trying to get in.
The other day, I'm trying to get rid of books, so I'm going through all my books. And it's a pain in the ass. I want to keep. And I came to these Stephen King paperbacks, and they were all signed, and I had like 11 of them, and then I remembered he was on your show, and I was on the show the same day, so I brought a Safeway brown paper bag full of paperbacks, and he signed them all.
Yeah. So are they worth anything?
No.
Okay.
No.
Because he signed tons of them in his time. I found out that what you want is stuff that you never expected is the stuff that's worth money. I got rid of my entire LP library when I left San Francisco, and I sold it off to this buyer, and he would go through it and say, this is worth so much, this is worth so much. And then I had some Beatles albums that were kind of rare in that they were early editions, things like that. He said, nah, not worth anything. Everybody's got Beatle albums. But this album by the 13th Floor Elevators, I can give you $300 for.
Wow.
So it's always a thing, you think that, it's going to be...
well, if you had the Butcher Block cover.
I had the Butcher Block cover. But
really?
Here's the problem. What it was yesterday, today, and tomorrow, I peeled it off. I steamed it off, and I got to the Butcher Block on the back.
Yeah.
Well, then it's worth nothing. If you got it with the label, with the cover they covered it with, worth a fortune. So that was one of my major collectible fuck-ups.
How about all the shit that you used to get as swag? Did you keep all the books and stuff?
I kept a lot of stuff, yeah. I didn't throw it out. It's still in storage somewhere. Best
piece of swag you ever got?
The best piece of swag I ever got? I don't know. I can't tell you. There's just a lot of little pieces that I enjoyed having.
Yeah.
But
well, you were always getting electronics equipment. Did CNET have a deal with you?
No. But I'm trying to think. The swag, okay. It isn't the best swag I ever had. It's the best swag situation I ever had. So I've got...
At the Bunny Ranch?
No, I'm at the Quake. And I've got Joe Rogalski, and Rogalski is always doing jokes about Truly Fine Ocean Spray soap or something like that. Truly Fine Mist soap. I can't remember the name of it now. And he's constantly plugging it. And finally, one day, a box shows up, and it's a giant case of this soap. And I said, is that all you have to do in order to get stuff for free, is just mention it? And Joe goes, I guess. So I said, I really love those Apple computers. They're really terrific computers. Okay. Next day, I get a call from my boss. There are 3 boxes here for you from Apple. I went, yeah. Now, we already talked to our lawyers. Since you didn't go out and try and get them, and since you're not taking anything for them, you can come and get them. So I immediately rush down. I grab these boxes. They're heavy. I put them in the back of my car. I take them home, right? They're from Apple. They're the Apple boxes. On the outside, it says like, Mac, the Mac, whatever.
Yeah.
I open up the boxes. They had sent it to me from Apple. It was 3 boxes filled with truly fine ocean mist soap. So maybe that's the best swag I ever got,
Hysterical.
Huh?
That's hysterical.
Yeah. Son of a bitches. I thought I had myself a fucking computer.
What was that, 90?
I can't remember. I can't remember the time on that. But boy, that was something. But anyway, then I can't remember real swag that I ever got. The T-shirts and caps and the keychains, and I had a cube. Oh, something? I was wearing that just the other day. I was wearing that very T-shirt just the other day.
93 Punchline?
Yeah, I should have worn mine today if I knew you were going to wear it.
It's really thick. It's a really good
Yeah.
But you're on the back.
Is my name on the back of that one? Oh, okay. But anyway, so I can't remember the swag. The one piece of swag I do remember is I had, and then I guess have to close with this. I had this. I was at a convention once, a tech convention, and I picked up one of these things, these little squeezy balls. Only it was a cube. Okay. And I always liked squeezing on it because, remember those? They're just great to squeeze on. And one day I'm looking at it, and this is after a whole bunch of stuff happened. I look at it, it says Enron on it. So that became one of my favorites, the Enron squeezy cube. Yeah.
Debbie and I at a gig one time afterwards met this guy who worked in advertising, and he was trying to introduce Panama Cerveza as the new alternative to Corona, because that's when Corona was big.
Right.
So we wrote a series of radio commercials for him, and probably 6 or 8. It was supposed to be like a series, like a detective series, a detective in a tropical climate, and they were pretty funny. But they didn't pay us, but they gave us this beer. They gave us cases of Cerveza Panama. And we would come home, and there would be a case on our doorstep. They knew. So I guess whenever the distributor guy came in, they would drop a case off. We hated the beer. Hated it. Oh, my God. We couldn't give it away. Oh, it was perfumey. It had this aftertaste. Oh, my living God. And we kept getting cases because we got on the permanent list, even long after the commercials stopped running. And and we would show up at parties, and people would go, "Oh!"
Yeah. Hey, listen, we've run out of time here.
Oh, buddy, just stories.
And we didn't even talk about politics today, but why?
I know.
Why? All you say is Durst. Not Durst. Trump, what a douche.
What a douche.
It's easier to say Durst, what a douche, because the D's follow, but
I love the alliteration.
The alliteration works. Hey, listen, always good talking to you, my friend.
Hey, Alex Bennett, you take great care, young man. I'm going to have Pat Johnson get in touch with you, and because we're going to write this book, and so we're going to get so you can see the picture.
Cool. Ladies and gentlemen, the lovely, the attractive Will Durst.
5 years and still talking. This is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network. Talk like you've never heard it before.
And there we go. There's Will Durst. Okay, all righty. Okay, all righty. All righty. Okay, all righty. Anyway, how are you? I'm Alex Bennett, and let me turn on the Skype lines here. I've been so tired lately. I don't even really, I'm getting to the point where I don't know whether I really want to do shows anymore. I'm so tired. And I don't know what it is. I think it's allergies, but I'm not sure. Okay, what was that? Rin, missed call. That's from the last show. Okay, let me turn on the Skype lines so that people can call me. And I hope this is looking okay to you folks out there. For some reason, it seems a little hinky here. I don't know what the problem is, but I will just hope that it's working okay. This is I don't know. I'm getting a little tired of the technical problems that I face all the time. Here we go. First caller of the night, ladies and gentlemen. It's Phil Meyer. Let's see here. I wonder if he pops up somewhere. Yeah, he automatically popped up. There we go. There
Automatic Phil.
Huh?
Automatic Phil.
Automatic Phil, because that's the place you were in the other day. So.
I thought I was in the shit house.
Huh? No.
I thought I was in the shit house the other day.
No, that's where you were the other day.
All right. Hey,
yeah.
How did you enjoy your holiday? That holiday was there for you.
Yeah, right. I served in the military.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we honor those that have fallen.
Big fucking deal. Here comes Charlie Wallace. Let's see if he automatically shows up in our panel. Is he in there? Yeah, there he is. Yeah, he showed up immediately. I didn't even have to do anything.
Auto Charlie.
Nah, there's old Charlie.
Auto Charlie.
Yeah. Now who was on the top the other day? I can't remember who was on the top.
I don't know. Was he? Are you a top or a bottom, Charlie?
Wait a minute. I can tell you right now who was on the top. Who was on the top before? It was Josh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was on the top. So.
Yeah. Now is Josh in Ohio?
Yes.
Yeah.
Isn't Ohio having extreme weather right now? Tornadoes, and Dayton was ripped apart, and Kansas City, which is not in Ohio, has also had extreme weather, tornadoes.
Really?
And we have a caller that lives in Kansas, but there's two Kansas cities. This one's Missouri. I don't know if he lives in the Missouri.
Just right across the river from each other.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And the guy who used to call the show lives in like an 8,000 square foot house that he bought for $100,000, and it was like an old mansion, and a whole bunch of them in the area that he lives.
Mm-hmm.
And the TV show that I saw that was showing the tornado devastation looked like it went right down a street that had those kinds of houses on it. I hope he's all right.
Well, there are a lot of houses in that part of the country that look like that.
No, but these were big old mansions. I mean, and he said he lived in a district that had these. It was called Millionaires Row or something.
Really?
I think his name was Dave. He used to call the show. He hasn't called. Yeah.
Dave the Millionaire?
Well, Dave, the guy that lives in the millionaire's house.
Yeah. Let me see here. I'm trying to look.
The millionaire and his wife, Gilligan's Island.
I'm looking for my volume here. There they are. There it is. Okay. I just want to make sure everything was fine here. Yeah. Oh man, I've just been so tired lately. I have no idea. I don't even know if I can get through the show tonight. I'm so exhausted.
Yeah.
I'm just tired. And I don't know what's causing it. I'm thinking one of my suspicions is what do you call it? Allergies.
Yeah. Are you sleeping?
It supposedly can make you tired. Can make you feel real tired.
Well,
yeah, I'm sleeping.
The stuff you take for the allergies make you tired.
Yeah, that's what knocks you out.
Well, I don't take anything that has
no Benadryl.
No. Well, I took some Benadryl to put me to sleep last night, and then all day long today I was like really goofy, and really tired. So I don't know. I give up. This getting old ain't for sissies thing is true.
Yeah. I agree.
And then when I don't have anybody calling me like tonight, when I can sit back and relax while these people just talk.
Hey, Charlie, you and I, we're chopped liver.
Yeah, I guess.
Plus, we're getting into the hot weather, and this air conditioner isn't working that well. So I got to maybe buy a new air conditioner, but I can't decide what to get because I don't want something that's going to blow the circuits.
Well, complain to the landlord. Let them put it in.
What do you mean? Isn't the landlord's job to put in air conditioners?
Sure, they provided you an apartment with an air conditioner.
No, they did. The guy who rented this apartment put in those air conditioners.
Well, complain to him.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like
That'll
like
work.
like
Yeah.
he'll take my calls. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
And if you tell your attorney to call him, it'll cost more than the air conditioner.
Yeah. Yeah. I could go out and buy an air. If I called him and
Yeah.
discussed the problem, and then he took he took a full hour on the project, it would cost me
Right.
twice as much as an air conditioner would cost.
That's right.
So I'm better off not calling the lawyer
Yeah.
unless he wants to do a pro boner thing. Yeah.
Not to keep you cool.
Anyway, I need to
so-
fill that spot up there, right there. See that, folks? Right there, that spot right up there. I need to fill it up. Somebody call. I know Scott Godiger, Scott Boddicker is out there because he says, looks like Durst is using Tony's laptop. Oh, you know something? I was going to mention to him to clean his lens. It looked like his lens needed cleaning, finally.
Isn't he out in the avenues out by the fog?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, it was foggy.
It was
you know.
probably foggy. Yeah, yeah. That's a good excuse. But Scott's listening. Let's see here. You here? Slow loading, said Al K. Why is it slow loading? What's slow loading? I have no idea.
He's putting it in one bullet at a time.
Yeah, right. So anyways, I'm so tired I don't even feel like doing a show tonight. I mean, I don't feel like doing a show ever again the way I feel today. Maybe I've got Tay-Sachs disease. What's that old Jewish disease where you're tired all the time?
Isn't it something Barr?
No. Well, Epstein-Barr.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're tired all the time. And Epstein sounds like a Jew.
Yeah. Epstein-Barr. Let me see. Epstein-Barr. Okay. By virus. Okay. Here are the symptoms of Epstein-Barr: fatigue.
Yeah.
Fever, lack of appetite, I'm not that hungry. Rash, no. Sore throat, no. Swollen glands in the neck, no. Weakness and sore muscles, no. So I don't have.
And
Epstein.
saying no a lot is one of the symptoms.
Okay. How about Tay-Sachs disease? Let me look that up.
Tay-Sachs is a genetic thing, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Tay-Sachs disease. Okay. Genetics reference. It is a genetic disease. Symptoms and causes. The symptoms are loss of motor skills, turning over,
Well, maybe Trump has Tay-Sachs.
including
Look at that
turning over,
reporter.
crawling, and sitting up. Exaggerated reactions when the baby hears loud noises, seizures, vision and hearing. Well, I don't have that.
No,
Damn it,
I didn't.
I don't have that. So
I probably diagnosed with Epstein-Barr.
yeah, let me see here. We got somebody to put in our first level here, who is let's see here, Gumball. Here's Ray Renati,
Dr. Renati.
and Ray.
Hey, I got it right through. Look at that.
Ray is in the first spot there, up above, as he pedals along at the gym.
Number one.
I am number one. I am best in the world.
Yeah. Okay, so you guys
am
talk
the
among
best.
yourselves. I'm too tired. I had to do 2 interviews today with an interview with Durst and then 2 interviews with Bubbles, and I was exhausted. I was just exhausted. You know?
Yeah.
Well, that's
Do
a
you think,
lot.
Do you think maybe it's my cancer?
Yeah.
No, it's 3 interviews. It's tiring.
No, I'm tired all the time. My eyes are tearing like crazy, and I think it's pollen. I think it's allergies.
Did you go
Well,
outside?
I had allergies like that a few weeks ago, and I thought I was really sick, and I went to the doctor. It turned out I had a super bad case of allergies.
Yeah, and were you
I thought
tired?
I
Were you
had-
tired all the time?
Exhausted. I thought I had the
See,
flu.
that's what I've got.
Yeah, it's horrible. I thought I had the flu, and all
Well,
I had
now
was
I don't have to
allergies.
go to a doctor because you did for me. So anyway,
But I got my inhaler and Flonase and Claritin, and it helped a lot.
Flonase doesn't. I have generic Flonase. Once a doctor gave it to me, and every month I would get it, but I never used it. And then I started using it, and it worked in the beginning, but now it doesn't work anymore. It
That's
doesn't-
what happened to me. It worked
Yeah.
in the beginning.
Yeah. Flonase
But
is
Alex,
the this was the
didn't your-
generic Flonase.
Didn't your
Yeah.
Flonase expire in 1942? You said that when you were in the Navy that you were being given some sort of a medication and that you had them all lined up on a desk. and you didn't.
Oh, well,
use them.
that was when I was in the Navy,
Right.
and I had all these drugs lined up on my desk. No, here's what happened.
It wasn't Flonase,
No,
right?
but here's what happened. Let me see if I can explain it. When you were in the Navy in those days and you felt sick, you would go to the infirmary, and the infirmary immediately would give you a codeine cough
that's
syrup, right? And of course, I didn't do shit. Didn't matter what you had. But every time you went in, listen, I've got my eyes are hurting. Here, have some codeine. Right? They would just pass these bottles of codeine out like crazy. They didn't buy the cases down in the infirmary. So I'm such a hypochondriac that after about a month, I've got like 20 bottles of this shit. All right? And I've got it lined up along the wall. But it doesn't do shit except get you high. Right? So one time I'm putting some kind of thing up in the public information office where I was working on the ship because I had conned them into giving me that to do. And I was using a screwdriver, and somehow I got a blister here. And then the blister popped, and then it was like kind of like open, and I couldn't get it to close up. So I figured, well, if I go down to the infirmary and I show them this, what they'll give me is just some codeine and send me back here. So why don't I cut out the middleman? I grabbed one of these bottles of codeine, I poured the thing on the blister, burned like a son of a bitch, but within an hour it was healing. So anyway.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you know what you need.
What?
Codeine.
Codeine.
Everyone needs codeine.
That's right. That is correct. Let
I'm
me
not supposed
see
to
here.
talk. I have to be
Tony's just calling here. Let's see here. We have to put him in the number 4 slot. Will he come up in any other slot? No, I have to put him in the number 4 slot. So I go to the number 4 slot, and I go Tony, and I put him in there. And does he pop in? Yes, he does. And we transition over to that thing, okay? So now we have 4 people here. Any more takers for tonight? Anyway, so I'm tired. I don't know what it is, and I'm just exhausted. And, I've tried not to take sleeping pills, tried not to take any Xanax to put me to sleep, but apparently that wasn't what was causing the problem. So I may take a Xanax tonight and just knock myself out and not wake up all night,
Do people actually get into REM sleep when they take things like Xanax and so forth?
I don't give a shit.
Yeah, but you're not getting sleep. If you're not
yes,
getting...
you are. That's bullshit.
Phil,
Yeah.
Phil, the benzos, I had to do a lot of research. It takes about 1 cycle of REM sleep away at night. You lose 1.
Yeah.
You're supposed to have like 4. You end up having like 3.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I look at my
have
watch
none.
and it says, like last night, I have this thing where it's called a program called sleep. And it tells me when I turn it on when I go to sleep, and it tells me how I'm doing with my sleeping. And when I wake up in the morning, it gives me a reading on it. And for instance, last night, I was restless for 34 minutes.
That's not bad.
I was restful for 7 hours and 56 minutes, and I was awake for 11 minutes. Now, if I go to my phone, I have an additional thing because this is a slightly different one. This is automatic. And what I had yesterday was 8 hours and 43 minutes of restful sleep, it says here. Restless, 14 minutes. And awake, 6 minutes.
You have no right to be tired. I barely get 5 hours.
But it says here, my best sleep was from 1:27 a.m. to 3:26 a.m., so that was an hour and 59 minutes of what probably was REM sleep.
Well, you get into REM sleep
Alex.
2 hours. You're a minute short.
Yes, Ray.
I can tell you that, like, when I have the allergies really bad like that, I get asthma, and I don't even realize I have asthma, and I have to use my inhaler, and I feel way better. It can wipe you out, and you won't even know you have it. You should have them check you for asthma.
Well, I had
I'm
asthma.
serious.
I had asthma when I was a kid.
Yeah, but
So
you can still have it even though you don't seem to have symptoms.
Look, the guy can
And
talk
it can
for
make you really tired.
Ray. Alex
Yeah.
could talk for a half hour without taking a breath because he knows if I take a breath, I'll interrupt him. But
No, but
you know,
it's not that. Like if you have allergy,
Yeah.
like you're just not getting enough oxygen with each breath, and it just accumulates.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
So
anyway,
Just
if you don't breathe deeply, you don't get enough oxygen, and then you end up
Well, you can't.
rebreathing the nitrogen.
Well, you can have really low-grade asthma with allergies, and it can totally wipe you out.
yeah.
I mean, that's what I have. I have to use my inhaler quite often.
Well, where's the stuff that
Yeah.
I have here? I have
So
an
albuterol.
I have some inhalers for stuff, but I don't feel asthma. I don't feel short of breath. or
Well,
anything like that.
you don't
Yeah, I didn't
necessarily
either.
feel short of breath.
Yeah.
I have an inhaler. If I get a really bad cold or something, they'll give you an inhaler to
Yeah.
help you out with that.
Well, this is not interesting anybody.
Welcome.
There are just 20 people watching right now.
Yeah,
That's the lowest we've had. Fuck all of you.
it's Tuesday.
Huh?
Maybe we
It's
should talk
Tuesday.
sports.
What
Yeah.
Yeah, we should talk sports, right?
Hey, Tony wants to talk cauliflower. Right, Tony?
Well, did you hear that? Did you hear? What did she say? That lady.
AOC
She said
wants
so?
wants to ban cauliflower. It's a elitist. It's not an elitist vegetable. It's a vegetable that she feels that I think Republicans eat, and that we should be eating plantains and other
something crazy.
vegetables that are not racist.
Plantains.
Because cauliflower is a racist.
I
vegetable.
don't believe she said that.
I'll send it to you.
You said it.
Well, where did
I'll send
you read it? There's a
wait a
lot.
minute.
There's a lot of
In the
fake.
Onion.
I didn't read it. It was like a
She
video.
actually said it out loud. There's a clip of it, Phil. I sent it to you.
Well, I just remember the
I
Republicans
sent it.
giving Obama grief for liking arugula.
They did. They gave him a crap on a
Yeah.
AOC cauliflower.
Crazy show
Well,
there.
Denver
I'll
Bush
send
one
it to
hated
you.
broccoli.
It's, done.
Eat whatever
All
you want.
Hey, Tony, why does it
I
look
just
like
sent
the
you the
inside
link.
of the Munsters
Look,
house?
Wait a minute, I have
in
the
your
video here.
Yeah, look at your
Boycott
messengers.
flower.
Video.
Okay, wait a minute.
Why is there dust
Let's
everywhere?
see here. Wait a minute. Hold on.
These guys, his lens is
Just like
dirty.
I-
I just
I
sent
got a
it.
cleaning lady.
This is, I have, wait a minute, hold on.
What's
Everybody be quiet.
Okay.
Wait a minute, I can't see here. Hold on. Here we go. There. What is this? The Rebel Media.
Hey folks, we're consistently told to cut back on the meat and ramp up on the veggie consumption, right? This is supposedly better for our health, and it's even better for the environment. But if you like to chow down on cauliflower, are you a racist? Well, that seems to be what Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is
All
implying.
right, I'm not going to believe
No.
this because it's a
Okay,
thing called
go to the one I sent you.
The rebel.com.
No, go to the one I sent you. It's Fox, but go to the one I
Well,
sent
it's
you.
Fox.
Yeah, but I got it through VOX. I don't know what that is.
Oh.
Oh, wait a minute. It's her. It's her
It
on a
is
video.
start walking. It is her, Alex. It's legit.
Yeah, it's a
Chuck
straight up
Dawson.
thing. It's not one of those Chinese bots.
Where did you send it to me?
Messenger.
Messenger. Okay, here it is. Let me see.
Start
Here.
walking like New York.
Here we go. All right.
It's getting hard to keep track of all the things that are racist these days. Jefferson statues, milk, not wanting African Americans to abort their children, that's racist.
Can you hear that?
Now add another
Yeah,
one to the long list. Cauliflower is racist. In a video posted on Sunday, young pioneer Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez explained to her followers that it is deeply problematic to grow cauliflower in urban gardens.
Really think about it. When someone says that it's too hard to do a green space that grows yucca instead of, I don't know, cauliflower or something, what you're doing is that you're taking a colonial approach to environmentalism, and that is why a lot of communities of color get resistant to certain environmentalist movements because they come with a colonial lens on them.
Okay. So
You support this moron?
I don't know
I
what
think that was taken out of context.
I think
No, it was
no, it was
not.
absolutely. It was
I wanna hear the
absolutely.
whole
She didn't say anything about cauliflower
I'll
being
send
racist.
it to you, Ray.
No, she didn't say anything.
I
about
want to
that.
hear
Yeah,
the
I
whole
just
cauliflower is
played the
racist.
thing you sent.
No.
I just played the thing you sent, Phil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard it. Tony heard it.
They didn't.
You
They didn't.
just have
Wait a
a-
minute. No.
a colonial lens that doesn't look
You're
what is that?
no. You're watching Tucker Carlson's edited version of that, and you don't hear the full
Right.
context of it.
Yes, watch the whole thing.
Yeah, they would
I
never
think-
doctor a video.
No,
She was talking
no.
rhetorically anyway, if it was real.
Yeah.
You never said
I'm not
anything
supposed to
about
talk.
cauliflower being racist. God.
Yeah, she said it was colonial.
No, that she didn't say it was racist. She said it was a colonial idea of something that was good, and that it was environmentally correct. But there are other things that are more environmentally correct. That's what she was saying.
I didn't
You're
hear.
full
I
of
didn't hear a
shit.
word of
You
it.
know, you just don't like this
She
woman.
said that they should grow yucca.
I don't know what yucca is. Yucca.
And plantains and
Plantains.
Yeah, whatever.
I'm
No,
having
her
a
point
head.
was
I'm
is
having
that
a,
they could grow
She's
those.
angry.
Oh, never mind. It's taken out of context.
Yeah.
She was speaking rhetorically, and I bet if you heard the whole thing, that's not what you would hear.
She's a moron.
No, she's not.
No, she's not.
No,
She's
she's not.
extremely
Hell of a lot
intelligent.
smarter than
And,
Trump.
and she's hot.
That may be true, but if you got to knock her out first before you screw her, because if she opens her
Well,
mouth,
I think she's
you'll
very.
lose
I
your
think
heart.
she's very
Oh,
intelligent.
you got to be kidding.
I think she's very intelligent.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but what do you-
She should grow yucca.
What do you know about intelligence? You believe in Donald Trump, the draft dodger.
Yeah.
This guy's an idiot.
He was a draft dodger.
No, he wasn't.
Yes, he was.
No, he got out of it the way he got out of it.
His father paid for a doctor to say he had bone spurs.
Well, isn't that wonderful? I didn't.
Well,
wanna
that's
go to
called
Vietnam.
draft dodging in my book.
No, it was called protesting the war, which is what we all did.
He wasn't
know?
protesting shit. He was trying to keep
Yeah.
his ass from getting shot.
Nah, he was. You think that he was going to end up in a place where he'd get shot?
No, because he's a coward.
Nah, even if he went in, they weren't going to. He wouldn't have seen any action.
Why
He
wouldn't
would
he
have
have
been
seen?
in the typewriter pool, or
Oh, really?
I wouldn't
How
have
are you
been a
so
coward.
sure of
I
that?
Well, he had because he had previous military experience while going to school.
Yeah.
He played
So
with
the military would never have used somebody that had some experience
Ray,
and knowledge.
Ray, is there a reason why we've lost your picture?
And he
What is
muted
it?
himself.
Ray, are you there?
Maybe he got told to shut
there
up.
we
I'm
go.
here.
we
I'm
go.
here. I'm here. I'm here.
Don't do that, because what I get
I-
is a goddamn Skype logo, and I don't like Skype to get any free publicity.
sorry.
I can't.
I'm sorry. I just was looking because I just do not believe what I just heard is completely true. I think that video was taken out of context and it was cut and edited in such a way to make her look.
Yeah.
I want to hear the whole thing.
The same
Well,
way.
I sent you what
the
I had.
same way they tried
Yeah,
to
but I
make.
wanna hear the whole
They tried to
thing.
make
That one
Nancy
you had
Pelosi
from Fox.
like they tried to make Nancy Pelosi sound
Yeah.
drunk last week.
Yeah, and then
And
She drinking.
they do the same thing to Trump.
She's tipping her
Oh,
mouth.
bullshit.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
He does it to himself.
I used to do it as a
does.
joke. We used to do it on our show as a joke with Obama. You take anybody and you slow them down, and then you raise the pitch so the voice is pitched the same way. It sounds like you're drunk. Yeah, yeah. And
It's easy.
Trump put that out there, saying, "Look, see, she isn't well."
on Twitter.
Yeah, on
I
Twitter.
think he retweeted it.
Such an
He did.
asshole.
Yeah, and it's
Such
easy
an
to be
asshole.
conned on this Twitter and all of that stuff.
Oh God. Bill.
To retweet things.
Retweet.
Always the apologist for the asshole idiot in the office.
Not really.
Yeah, you are. You do.
No.
You constantly apologize for him.
I see everybody on Facebook and so forth calling the guy names, but you know
He
what?
is an asshole. Well, he calls people names all the time.
Yeah, he does.
Constantly, every day.
You
Well,
call
I'll
me names, so I call you names.
Oh, you sound just like him. Good
Yeah.
imitation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm from New York.
Yeah.
Sticks and
We'll see
stones
how
may
it
break
goes.
my bones.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Alex had to take a whiz. He should have
That's
taken the
what happens
camera.
when you
with
get
him.
old.
Yeah.
You can't breathe. Your eyes
Yeah.
water, and you got to take a leak every 10 minutes. Can't wait.
Yeah.
Can't
Well,
wait.
I'm doing better. They ripped out my prostate, and now I
There you
can
go.
wait about 20 minutes to take a leak.
Oh, jeez. Aren't you
Well,
lucky?
I have to get up 4 or 5 times a night.
Hey, welcome back.
Welcome down.
Oh, John Sebastian.
Nothing's changed.
Hey, welcome back.
Well, nobody saw me go.
Tony,
Unless
why
you-
does it look like there's smoke in your house?
It's the bad lighting. You know, I should.
Oh yeah, it's the lighting.
I'm telling you, it's the lighting. I got a cleaning day
Wipe the
now.
camera off.
I almost fired.
I bet you could clean your lens right now and it would look better.
shining.
I bet if you cleaned your lens right now, it would look better.
Oh, yeah.
Alex, I almost fired the Irish.
Yeah, and
hands.
also
Wait a minute.
With
What
his
are you doing?
finger.
You're using your finger? Now look, it's all
Now you just
smudged.
put more oils on it.
Boy,
what does he do? Put Crisco on it?
huh?
Put Crisco on it? What's that filter that people use at weddings and so forth to?
Hey, it's Albert.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yay. Wait a
Hey,
minute. Hold on a
is that any
second.
Prince Albert in the can?
Guys,
Wait a minute. Here comes Albert. Wait a minute. There he is, ladies and gentlemen. Albert Reynoso.
where is I still don't know how to use Skype. I don't know what I'm looking at. I see Phil. I see Tony. Tony's got to pan his camera a little on there.
Did he clean?
pull-
Did he
yeah,
clean
that-
his
no, a little
camera?
more.
Did he clean his camera?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, it looks better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I cleaned it with a dirty rag.
Yeah.
How does your camera get dirty like that? That's so weird.
And he
I've
cleaned
never
it
had to
3
clean
days
mine
ago.
yet.
Well, the KY jelly gets on it when he closes it.
It's a tough room tonight.
So how have you
Hey,
been? How have you been?
How was that WPLJ thing?
For some, it was good. For others, not so good.
Yeah.
Over here.
That's all I'll say.
Okay.
I was his +1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were my +1. If I had a +1, I'd have brought Scott Shannon with me.
No, but he had an invite to the party, didn't
That's
he?
right. He got an
Yeah.
invite.
Yeah. So
What are you talking about tonight?
nothing in particular. I've got a headache. That's why I went out to the other room to get 2 aspirin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm
Hey,
still.
if you want to relax, let Albert do the show.
Oh no,
Just sit back.
no. I've been hitting my medicine a little tonight. So
Ah.
Oh, well, but he has a license to medicate.
I do. I absolutely do. No
Yeah.
question about it. That's
You're not in New York, right? You're
Oh,
down
no.
in Florida.
no. Oh yeah, I'm down in Florida now.
Is it legal in Florida?
If you have a medical prescription, yeah, sure.
All right.
And I have a
in Arizona.
prescription.
Yeah.
I
Bill,
have
here it's fun time.
medical prescription.
Yeah. Well, that's great. Now, do they have stores set up like they do in California?
Dispensaries, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. And I can't remember the last time I bought any marijuana.
Yeah.
If I have, but it's easily as good a value at the dispensary as anywhere you can get it.
So if you go to the
That's
dispensary, is it
checked.
all old Jewish people saying, "Vel, there's my this"? You got a discount for seniors?
You know, you're not far off from that because it's all I guess people over 45, I think, and yeah, pretty much people from New York who came down from New York and are using it now for instead of whatever they were using before.
Yeah, we've just been joined by Patrick here. Wait a minute, hold on a second. Let me show everybody. There's Patrick. Hello, Patrick. How are you this evening?
I am just super fancy wonderful.
Just super fancy wonderful. And look who's joined us tonight here.
I have a heart on now.
Show it to us. There it is.
Oh God.
Where did Tony go? I'm a little scared for him now.
He's
He's dusting off his
he's,
mom.
He's I think he's murdering his mom.
Yeah, yeah.
He's preserving her.
And look closely at those curtains.
Yeah, he's changing the formaldehyde
and the wallpaper.
Yeah.
You know what we should all do?
nice.
Everybody, click on your thing to take that as a picture, and then use
I
it
don't
as
know
your
how to do that.
screensaver, or your backdrop. Or I should do that, take that off of there, and then use it as the background for the citizen panel.
Yes.
You know,
Idea.
right?
Better do it now before he comes back in the shot.
That'll really be scary.
Yeah, now, but Albert was up here till Sunday, and he was going to be on the show on Friday, but you got all involved with your
My daughter.
You call her your daughter, right?
Yeah, she's my daughter.
She's not, but she's not your daughter by blood. She's your daughter.
Not by fucking, no.
No, okay.
Not by that.
Oh, God.
I mean, does not carry his DNA.
You want to use the words? Go ahead.
You're not her biological father. You're her.
Right.
You're
I'm the father by marriage to her mother.
Yes. So
stepfather, a stupid
and
term.
she's a great kid too. That's what's wonderful about it.
One of the best. Yes.
Really, she's terrific.
Now she is.
Yeah.
Before,
When she was a teenager.
When she was 16, 14, 15, 16, what a horror show.
Did you know her at that age?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah? She was a horror show, huh?
Oh, terrible. Terrible.
Well,
but she's a lovely individual now.
Well,
one of the
we all become lovely individuals, you know.
Yeah, but you don't know this level of horror show that she was.
Yeah,
we weren't all that. I don't think any of us were that. Or maybe every girl who has a mother, every girl in the teen years who has a mother living with them. Maybe it works like that, but
I have a feeling it does.
You're probably right. So, yeah, she was here Friday, so we went to dinner, and I thought we'd be done in a few hours, but it went on way beyond the time that I thought. So, if anybody's waiting for me,
for some reason,
family first all the time.
For some reason, we're not broadcasting now. It doesn't look like. Oh no, we are. We are. For some reason, I can't get a signal on this part of it.
This is 30 seconds old, but
no. But I'm having problems with Bolo Bennett .com live, whatever. Let's see.
Albert, can you fix it?
No. Hold on a second.
I barely got on this thing myself. I don't know how to do anything anymore.
Yeah.
Plus, I'm a little stoned.
There we go. Now I got it. It went to the wrong thing. There we go.
But if I knew, I wouldn't be able to do it right.
Yeah. Looks fine. Okay. Anyway, that's what happens when you're doing the show. I can't just only do the show and moderate it. I have to also switch the switcher and do all that bullshit. So, you know.
We'll get it right.
You're too cheap to get an assistant.
So tell them what you've been doing with your...
I'd rather die on Everest than die on this show.
We do every night.
You know why
4 nights a week.
You know why people are dying on Everest? Because it's such a traffic jam.
Yeah.
That they're running out of oxygen.
Yeah.
You know, and then they die.
Or they're just stupid.
It looked like, you know, if you looked at these pictures of people going up to the top of Everest, it looked like, I don't know, Black Friday at Best Buy.
This is the problem.
Yeah, right.
You know, as a scuba diver, I know from oxygen and breathing under pressure. And even though, you know, when you're 10,000 feet, 20,000 feet, there's still pressure that is exerted on the amount of air and the oxygen mix. And if you have too much oxygen, you know, you get something called oxygen toxicity, and you'll blank out.
I said they're running out of oxygen, not that they have too much of it.
Yeah, but you black out if you have too much and too little. You know, if you don't have, they have tanks. They have these things.
What do they have? What do they call them?
Tanks.
You're welcome.
Tanks a lot.
You're welcome.
No, but you know, I used to.
You always fall for that one, by the way. Yeah.
You know, when I dive alone.
We don't give a shit about you diving. We're talking about people completely at the other end of the earth.
Spare air. It's about 8 inches long, and it has a little mouthpiece. And
yeah, well, that's my dick. Okay, now that you're talking, you're talking about my dick. Yeah, look at Patrick.
No, that's Patrick's talking about your dick.
Look at Patrick. Look at Patrick. Do that again, Patrick, so they can see what you
have one problem. Where's the tweezers? How you going to find it?
Oh boy, this is what I have to put up with, Albert.
Yeah, that's what you have to put up with. Yes,
that's the reason he only calls once a year. You know.
Hey, I come to visit. What are you talking about?
Yeah, you come to visit. Yeah. Yeah. You just come for my Snapple. Is what you come for.
I just come for your new TV. It's a new TV every time I go there.
Yeah.
Got a nice, beautiful TV hanging in the living room.
That's the cheap one. That's the one I suggest everybody buy. If you want a 4K that looks terrific and has a Roku built into it For $369, you can buy a TCL 55-inch.
It was cheaper than that when we looked online.
Was it? Oh, yeah, it had gone down to 200, 300.
It's gotten ripped off.
$299.
Yeah, $299. Yeah.
Patrick's got his hand.
Yes, Patrick.
I saved it as a screenshot as you suggested.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck, it's that hideous on my computer.
Did it melt your screen?
It is fucking hideous.
We're talking, Tony, about your background.
Oh, it's the wallpaper.
Yeah, we want to take a photograph of that and use it as the background here on the.
Tony, see if you can take your computer and point it completely at the wallpaper so that they can all get a photograph of it and use it for wallpaper on their computer.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, look at that.
That's a curtain. There we go.
I'm a little humble.
What's that?
Oh, you got to get the curtains in there though, too, Tony. You got to get the curtains in there.
I think you should just get a shot of the curtains.
You want to see the
That's the background. Little more to the left.
Well, Tony, stay on the curtains for those who want the curtains, and then
a little more to the left.
This is like 1977 here, Albert. Look at this.
No, it's like 1957, Tony.
You're right.
It's like 1957 in North.
Andy Griffith at
Wait a
dinner
minute,
time.
hold on a second. I'm going to get this so we can get the whole screen with Tony's
She loves her
background.
curtains.
Okay, can anybody do something with that? There we go. Well, there's the
She's
there's
so
the
flattered.
there's
Don't
the
move it around,
curtains.
Tony.
There's the curtains. Show the wallpaper.
The
This
wallpaper.
is particularly
Wallpaper
hideous.
for the wallpaper.
Oh, there we go.
Two
Oh,
shades.
look at that.
We didn't know which one
Straight
to
on,
get. the
straight
one-
on, Tony, straight on.
Yeah,
Back up a little bit so we can get a nice.
yeah,
oh,
that's the shot.
Oh.
Left to
That
the left, just a little.
just something, isn't it?
Just to the left.
Now,
Get rid of
there,
the
there,
door.
everybody, is your new wallpaper for your computer.
It's hideous. Me and my brother make fun of it.
Yeah, yeah. But listen, I don't want to suggest that this
that's
is
the
going to
shot.
happen to your mother, but when she dies,
Not too soon, though, Alex. I need
yeah, because then you'd be unemployed. Okay.
Yeah.
But not too soon. But when she dies, immediately get rid of that fucking wallpaper.
Hey, Tony, if she dies, do you have to tell the government that's paying you to take care of her
I'm not so
that
not
she
gonna
has
do that
died?
yet. She's doing really good, though, right now. She got a clean CT scan. She just had a pudding for dessert.
Yeah.
She better make it in 8 months. If I don't get 32 weeks, I'm on the street. I'm
Albert's
joking.
smoking dope. He wants pudding.
Tony, I'm begging you, put the camera back on you.
Okay. You want to see
He's stoned.
Begging you. That's how bad that wallpaper is.
And you know what she thinks, Albert? She thinks it's good. My brother wants to rip it down.
Well,
But it was good at one point.
That's why. Listen, I have an idea. I have an idea, Tony. This is just an
We're
idea.
modern. She's still.
I
in
know
1960s.
that although you love your mother, her
I do.
passing would give you a great deal of relief, except you would then not be making money for taking care of
Yeah.
her. So just do what has been done in the past in various movies. Stuff her.
Can I get away with it? You think? How long would the government?
Tony, it's called
Say-
1,000 by proxy.
Take it to a
Just say that.
taxidermist.
Maybe I can make a deal with the funeral director. Listen, let's not say she's gone. We'll just bury her and wait about 5 years until I'm ready to move.
This is a morbid crowd.
Yeah.
I'm joking. I
Wow.
don't want to.
But the viewership
joking,
has
Mom.
gone up.
She's watching the Met game in the back like she's got
I
money.
want
on
to tell you something,
Yeah, I know her
folks.
watching it playing the
The,
Dodgers.
the viewership has gone up. And if you don't believe me, the reason it went up was we were showing wallpaper.
Well,
They're probably like, oh my God.
I mean, that's nothing to be proud of. You know, we have a nice discussion about interesting things. You get nobody. Tony puts his wallpaper on,
Yeah.
and you get viewers. Well,
Yeah.
just, you know,
Well,
Listen,
I-
it's possible, it's possible the cats are over on the internet now. Wallpaper could be the thing.
Yeah.
Does anybody even have wallpaper anymore other than me, you think?
Buddy.
Nobody.
She's got paneling in the other room. It's my brother's like, it's crazy.
it
Yeah.
used to be
Oh, I like
watching
that.
paint dry. Now it's watching wallpaper peel.
Now
I
we
know.
begin to understand exactly why Tony is the way Tony is. It's
She
that
drives me
fucking
crazy.
wallpaper
It's
and
like a
paneling in
comedy
the
act,
other
yeah.
room. It's driving him crazy.
Hey, Alex, it
I have
can't
a
it
good
can't be
sense
the
of humor.
wallpaper because they didn't let him out of the basement until his father passed away. You know.
Yeah.
My
So-
father's like, you got to take care of it now. Thanks, Dad.
By the way, Albert,
Yes.
I have you to thank for Tony.
Well, I don't get that.
Well, you remember my party?
Yes, I remember your
And
party.
you remember who invited him to my party?
No, well, no. Under a condition, I said you should invite him to the party.
Oh yes, I was supposed to come with
We
my.
never met that condition.
I never met the condition.
Yeah,
You invited him without the condition being met, so it's your fault.
Did I invite
Yeah, but
him?
Albert, he still hasn't given back the silverware.
I don't. That's not my problem because I took
My
half
mother's
the
eating
silverware
goodies.
myself.
Oh, so that's where the other half went.
That's right. I got the forks and knives.
All right.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
Tony got the pickle forks.
Yeah, and the spoons.
Yeah, because he was at my party we had for this apartment. It was a housewarming.
Mm-hmm.
Little did we realize what kind of a housewarming it was going to wind up being in the end. But, you know.
Lucky you.
Well, I
You
know.
have your problems.
We've been,
great place.
what's the term? We're squatters.
But not for your fault, Alex. It just worked out that way for you. You were a victim.
I was a victim. Yes, I am a victim.
I'll be your lawyer. You're a victim. You would
All Democrats are
I'm
victims.
a victim with the touch of the cancer.
Yeah, thank God, not too bad though. The touch. Remember who said that? I got a touch.
Why can you also move your camera so your head is a little bit more towards the top of the frame?
Sorry, is that okay?
Because you always look like
Little
no,
more.
more,
Yeah.
more. There
That's
we
it,
go.
that's
There
it,
we go.
that's it.
Because
I'm
you
all
always look
confused.
like
Kilroy
you always
was
look
here.
like
No,
Kilroy
because
was
Walt
here. You know.
He
That's why-
adjusts it and then he slumps down a little more,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then he slumps down a little more. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Tony,
That's it.
Yeah.
My
You
mother's
just got
shrinking
called a
now.
schlump.
Hey, now that's a nice microphone you've got there, Albert.
Oh yeah.
Do you like it?
What kind of microphone is it?
That is a Heil P4, I think.
Veil your papers.
I
Heil.
have the papers here for the Heil.
It's a Heil Hitler.
You see my mic
Yes,
flag
yes,
out?
Patrick. What Patrick?
Nah, it's
Pat-
overexposed.
Patrick had something he wanted to say.
Much
Yes,
light on it.
Patrick.
It's
Wait,
overexposed.
hold on a second. Patrick wants to talk.
Oh, I heard Heil, so I salute it.
Oh, I see. I thought you wanted to
I
say
thought that was your
something.
dick coming up hard again.
Well, now that you said it, it's gonna.
Ray, did you have your hand up, or you going anti-Jew also?
I'm going to show this to Alex.
I was just highlighting.
Wait a minute.
Oh, okay.
Hold on a second. Everybody be quiet. You're going to show me something, are you, Albert?
Do you see my?
Almost. It's
Don't-
still a
don't-
little
don't-
overexposed.
Don't talk, Phil. Otherwise, we can't see him.
Oh, okay. There you go. That's good.
Yeah, but you got to
kind of
talk. You got to
obscene.
say something.
WPLJ 95.5.
You have to say something, Albert, so that the camera will go to you.
I said, Phil got it. He saw what it said on it.
Okay, but I'll lift it and show everybody else because we couldn't see it because you weren't talking, and so therefore this thing is
Hold on.
activated.
Let me try to take it off.
by
Alex
people
has got
talking.
it. No, you don't have to. But Alex has got it set up to when you speak, you become the large picture, so you'll
Telling you
speak
that I'm
and then
okay.
show the flag.
Okay.
Large picture. I
Yeah.
should always be a large picture, shouldn't I?
Yeah,
Can you see it
yeah,
now?
Well,
No,
oh, there
now
we
we
go.
can.
Wow.
Now
There we go.
Now you can
wow.
definitely see it. I'll keep talking.
That's the
so you can see it.
WPLJ flag. But do you remember this flag? Do you remember this flag?
Yes, remember that
Wait a
flag.
minute. Hold on a second. I gotta go back here so I can show people. This is the flag we have on our microphone here, and you made this up for the TV show, right?
That's right.
Yeah. What's the
As soon as
flag
they kicked
under?
us out the door, I had them made. Ready to go.
Oh yeah, but what's underneath all this artwork? Does it say like Sirius XM?
It's Sirius XM flag, I think.
Oh well, we got something out of that place, didn't we? Huh?
Now, Albert, when you got that flag, did you get it in the day, or were they party favors that they were handing out? In
No. This is
At the
original.
party.
This is when the station left 6th Avenue and went to Penn Station.
Mhm.
They got, there was a lot of stuff from the studios, and they built new studios, so they didn't need the old stuff. And I just happened upon a mic flag from the New York's Best Rock Days official.
Okay, so that's a nice flag to have.
Yes, that's why I put it there. It meant something to me. I have a lot of Sirius flags, but I'm not going to display them anywhere.
I wouldn't even wear. I had how many T-shirts from Sirius? How many caps from Sirius?
Mhm.
I refused to wear them.
Oh, I wear my sweatshirt. It's
You
a good
wear the
sweatshirt.
Really?
Patrick has something to say.
Yes, Patrick. Yes.
Yeah, I just got my new car last week,
Yeah.
and I've got like 6 months free of Sirius.
Mhm.
I haven't to turn it on yet. Fuck Sirius.
Good for you.
I just bought 12 months for $60.
Fuck you. Fuck you. I wouldn't even give him that.
I waited 5 years. I mourned your passing for 5 years, and I mean, how long are you going to sit shiver for a guy?
I'd say the rest of your fucking life, rather than give those measly fuckers any money.
Yeah.
Bay Area radio sucks. I couldn't stand it anymore.
You could have sent the 60 hours.
Now he
What
wa-
about Cousin
now-
Brucey?
Now he
Who
wants
needs us?
now he wants to do two things to be a traitor. He wants to listen to Sirius, and he'd like San Francisco Bay Area radio back. You can't listen to either of them, okay?
I know. I know. It's the San Francisco radio is gone. It's
Well, all radio's gone. We went to that PLJ thing, and I was saying, what are they mourning? The passing of a call letter?
now Sirius.
By the way, did
I?
I hear this? Wait a minute. Did I hear this, Albert, correctly? That the what do you call it? That the call, they're going to keep the call letters now. That's the latest.
That's what I read in several places, that the Christian love song station is going to keep the WPLJ call letters.
So
Does that mean they want their flag back?
No. I think they keep the current flags is the way it's done legally. Any old flags can go where they can go.
Yeah, but does this mean that really WPLJ isn't going away? I mean, just
The call
because
letters aren't going away in New York.
just because it's going to religious doesn't mean the WPLJ is going away.
No,
Does
it's
that
not.
mean the new flags have a Saint Christopher on it?
They could. They could have a rosary. It could St. Peter, St. Paul, name it.
Yeah. So, but they were going to change the call letters, weren't they, at one point, and then they decided not to?
You mean the Christian people?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure they did. I think it's a mistake to change the call letters, especially in the beginning, because if people, if you have diary recognition somewhere, or they need to make a mention of.
Are there diaries anymore, though? I don't think.
There are.
I don't think
Besides the people meter.
Really?
There
They still are doing diaries?
diary to supplement. Yeah.
What they used to do, in case people don't know what we're talking about, they used to have people write in diaries what they listened to, which wasn't very accurate. And then they went to the people meters, where people have a kind of like a beeper that they've
like a
got.
pager,
Yeah, and every time they change the station, it records what station they're listening to, which is far more
They
accurate.
go into the store with the station. It'll record that too.
As long as you're listening to something.
Right.
Yeah.
I had a people meter.
So what are they going to just
I
play?
got a
Christian
diary
music?
once.
What did you say, Tony?
Are they just going to play Christian music?
Yeah, I guess. Here's the thing that
Onward Christian
did I mention
soldiers.
this to you, Albert? That the wonderful thing about my curse as a human being is that I worked at WMCA, and what did WMCA become?
I don't know.
See, everybody forgot because it's still there.
I don't know.
It's a Christian radio station.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
What would-
And then I worked
what
at
would-
PLJ, and what's it going to be? A Christian radio station. So I must be some kind of demon or something that carries a curse with me. Yeah, right.
You came to
Patrick.
Sirius, and they got the Catholic channel.
Yeah.
Wait,
Talking about Sirius, I got a list of stations and it said, click on, it was an email, and they said, check out what you like, and they'll send you a different feed, I guess. Now, what station number was your show?
I don't remember now.
Albert probably remembers. Was it 128 or something?
It was
It was
127.
127.
I think it was 127.
Yeah.
Well, Joel Olstein is 128.
Oh, there it is. That's definitive proof now, Alex.
Yes.
Yeah, it's Joel Osteen.
Whatever.
Well, no, start pronouncing things correctly. Quit sounding like a fucking moron like your idol, okay? Just
He's starting to look like Rush Limbaugh too.
who? Phil?
Phil.
Yeah.
I got to lose weight.
Yeah. How's that diet going for you? That fucking what is it? Keto.
Keto diet.
Oh yeah, where they mail them the food. Remember?
Yeah, I have been cheating a lot.
Well, you think you're doing the keto diet, but you're doing the keto diet, which is a Japanese diet from a city in Japan.
Oh yeah. Well, no, I have the keto diet augmented with ice cream. You know.
Oh, okay.
Dittos, Phil. Dittos.
Thank you. Hey, Rush will like you.
Oh God. Yeah.
At least it's not Oxycontin in ice cream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
But anyway,
that's
so
Rush's favorite.
I just, everybody mourning the passing of a radio station that was never the same way in any particular decade. They kept changing their formats. Nobody ever said it went away. And so if it's going to a Christian format, I guess as long as it's still called WPLJ, what's to mourn?
But I don't think if you referencing the party that they held, I don't think that was a mourning event at all. I think it was just a gathering of people who have been there through this long legacy station. And yeah, the ratings haven't been like they were in the 70s or 80s for a long time, but people still know the call letters for some reason.
Alex showed us a video of the party, and it was an Irish wake. You know how they're all getting drunk. They had drink tickets.
I know. I was standing there drunk for a long time, and my credit card receipt is good proof of that.
I'm sorry I didn't will my drink ticket to you. I should have known before I left.
He left it. He didn't give me his fucking drink ticket.
I should have said, "Here's my drink ticket," and I don't think in those terms.
Well, I do. Don't you know?
Thought it was swag.
I know you do.
You thought it was swag.
You came back pretty much 5 sheets to the wind from that thing. Now, what night did you come back that you were really drunk, though?
That was my first night there.
Yeah.
I went to my favorite bar.
Yeah.
Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And just to see my favorite bartender. She's a sweet girl, Colby, and she was there. And I said, well, then give me a cheap beer and a packet of peanuts. They have warm peanuts for free there. Give me a bowl of peanuts. So she did, and I'm sitting there just enjoying it, just kind of looking around, contemplating. And some guy is sitting with 2 other guys having a good time. And one of the guys taps me on the shoulder and says, excuse me, could you tell me where there are some good dive bars in the area? I said, my friend, you're in it. This is it. If I'm here, it's a great dive bar. I told some others, and it turns out that it was 2 guys from England in their 30s or so who had brought their father over from England for his first time visiting New York, 70 years old, and it started great conversation. I made fun of them as English people. They made fun of me as being American. It was a great time. We exchanged, I don't know how many beers and shots. By the time I walked out of there, I was in bad shape. So what did I do? I was headed to my good friend Alex's house, and I said, no, I can't go in like that. So I went to another bar and had some more beers. But this bar gave you, it's a bar in Brooklyn that gives you a free pizza with every beer. So I said, I'm at least getting some food to eat here, so I'll sober up.
It's not a whole pizza. It's a piece of pizza.
No, it's a whole pizza.
A whole pizza with every beer?
Small one.
Huh?
But it's a
personal pizza.
Oh,
personal pizza, yeah. It's really good, though. Very good. But
talking about free nuts, Max's Kansas City used to have some sort of nut or something that they put on every table. Do you remember what they were?
They were the beans.
Garbanzo beans or
no,
something.
they weren't garbanzos. They're what garbanzos are when they get hard. What do you call it? Chickpeas.
Chickpeas. Okay.
Yeah, and the motto for Max's Kansas City was steaks, chops, and chickpeas.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
so
they were free.
I can't remember the steakhouse you used to go to in San Francisco. For a week I was there. We couldn't figure this out.
The steakhouse I used to go to that was in the marina.
Oh God, that had to be Izzy's.
Izzy's.
Yes, that's it.
Right off Chestnut.
Izzy's. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, I should have remembered because it was named after Izzy Gomez, who used to run a speakeasy in San Francisco. And this place had the greatest steaks. I'm telling you, I had great steaks there.
I had one with you one time.
Yeah, they had a blackened fillet that was just to die for.
They have they have a display of all these mustards there. The wall has every kind of mustard, and you can take those mustards and use them on
Well,
your
you could.
meal.
The place is closed.
Yeah. Oh, well, I like Ruth's Chris.
Well, you would.
With Ruth's Chris.
Yeah.
Huh?
What else?
I said you can't go wrong with Ruth's Chris.
That's right. You know, and no matter where you are, it's like the McDonald's of steaks, but of good steaks.
Mm-hmm.
But anywhere you go, you're going to get the same steak.
Izzy's Steaks and Chops. Wait a minute, Marina.
There's one in Marin.
Wait a minute. You can order it from Grubhub.
Oh, yeah, like they're going to deliver for 50 cents more to you.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second.
Where are you? You know, I'm in Harlem. Okay, yeah. I'll be there in an hour.
It looks like it may have moved.
No, there's one in
Marin. It's on
Marin.
Steiner Street. It's on Steiner Street.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it's
the same one.
It's still open.
Yeah, the health department hasn't closed it yet.
It's still open.
Well, what made you think it was closed?
Because I'd heard it had closed.
He hasn't been there in a while.
Well, I haven't been there in a while, so they should have gone out of business.
Right.
You know, but they didn't. So, you know, but
yeah. Next week I'm going to a place on Chestnut called Bobo's. It's supposed to be a great steakhouse.
Well, I go to a place down in the village called Babo's.
Yeah.
Which was owned,
the child molester guy?
It was owned by no
That's
child.
it.
To begin with, let's get this straight.
The Me Too guy. Me Too guy.
No, what's his name? Mario Batali was not a child molester.
Well, he's Republican. He's embellishing.
Yeah. He grabbed him by the pussy.
That's right.
Yeah. So anyway, that was something. You know, it was a good restaurant, Babo's. But it's also on. Batali had to sell out because they kicked him out of there, out of all his restaurants in Italy, which was another money-making proposition for him. But it's owned by the Bastianich family and some investors. You know, so and it's a great restaurant, a wonderful restaurant. We love going.
Any of those investors have a no neck? and you know, and nose like that.
Why are you making Italian mob jokes when I'm talking about Mario Batali?
Well, hey, Guido over here on the gives me the finger. Hey, you know, I got a deal you can't refuse, huh?
Yeah. Anyway, back to Tony's wallpaper. No, because that was getting us some good numbers here, talking about his wallpaper.
I thought it was talking about killing his mother was getting you the vision.
She's watching that. I think she's out.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, you believe it. She's asleep.
I may be able to have it once she goes. I may have a job for you taking care of me, Tony. You know,
I'll take
the rate I'm going.
Yeah, you got the cream. You rub the feet.
The only thing I'm missing here is terrible wallpaper, and that can be arranged.
We can have a room that we just set up.
Just find out the pattern that you have. You have it on the ceiling? No, it's not on the ceiling.
No.
You
got popcorn on the
Find out what
ceiling?
the pattern is. Let me know so I can buy that wallpaper and have it ready to go here in case I ever become ambulatory.
I gotta ask
you. It's the background of
the
Gabnet.
It's nice. That's the funny part.
Well,
hey Tony,
but
on the ceiling. Tony, on the ceiling, is it popcorn?
No, it's just painted.
Oh, okay.
Yes, Patrick.
See, the thing
Not yet, though.
The thing that makes the wallpaper is that border at the bottom. Yeah,
Wainscoting. That's wainscoting.
Wainscoting, it's called.
No, the border pattern, and then the wainscoting below it. But the pattern border between the wallpaper and the wainscoting. Now, do you have it at the top, Tony? That border?
Yeah. Well, she's actually. I don't know what the hell she was thinking when she had this put up, actually, because I would imagine the wallpaper should match. It doesn't even match. But it's kind of like flowers on top, stripes on the bottom.
Grandma's decorating service.
Yeah.
She probably did. You know what? I don't know. This has been here a while, this room, but I think I don't know. I mean, I can ask her where she got it. I have no idea where she got it. I'm guessing wherever she got it, they're out of business probably still.
It wasn't
Do they do
Sloan's.
wallpaper anymore?
Yeah.
Do you ever have anybody call you up and say, what? Yeah, she's calling me now. She's alive still.
Oh, jeez. Hey, it's 11:30 at night. Tell that woman to go to sleep, for Christ's sake. Jeez almighty.
She's got a slave now. You know, this is good stuff.
Well, this is work for him. He's going to get paid for taking care of her.
That's the key word. He's going to get paid. He's not getting paid yet.
That's why he's got to keep her alive for the time being and then stuff her when she dies so they don't know she's gone.
That's true.
So this is going to be a Norman Bates situation before it's over with.
And remember, Albert's stoned. He might believe us.
I almost forgot about that. Let me.
You know what she just said? The Mets are winning 5-2. What time is it? It's 11:40.
Yeah.
She's got nowhere to go tomorrow.
Where are the Mets playing?
She has nowhere to go ever, Tony.
It's 3 hours earlier.
Hey, Tony, do you have an attic?
No.
Oh,
that's my next stop, I guess.
She's got a basement, You
need an attic. Yeah.
I didn't know Charlie was here. Hey.
Yeah, Charlie's here.
A little circle up on top. I didn't even notice you.
Well, you can move him down.
Drag him into a bigger square.
You can drag him in and get rid of.
What do I get rid of? I don't want to get.
You don't get rid of anybody. We just go to a square. Get rid of me. Just drag. If I'm a big one, you just drag Charlie over me, and you'll see a big Charlie.
See, that's the other thing I hate about the new Skype, is that you can't say to the new Skype, give me 5-6 pictures on the screen at a time. Give me 10 pictures on the screen at a time. No, it's got those funny little dots at the top. So I never pay attention to those. I pay attention to my,
sorry,
my screen.
Charlie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're really sorry.
I didn't even
you
know.
wish you were a tuna.
Yeah. Only the best.
Yeah. But anyway, so, that's what's terrible about it. I mean, among other things. But tonight I haven't had to actually call anybody back to get them on, including Albert, who never has called before. So, but it's random. It's random. So, so anybody hear about the Supreme Court today and their judgment with Missouri?
Partial judgment.
It was a full judgment against their abortion thing. I mean, because they wouldn't take up the question. They wouldn't. When they don't take up the question, that means it goes back to the lower court who made a decision.
There was an abortion thing that was upheld today by the Supreme Court.
Was just that you could that they were required to either bury or cremate the remains. Now, how do you do that with something that big? Okay.
Small shovel.
No, but I mean, you even get to a fetus that's 3 months old and you don't have much of anything.
Nope.
You've still got goop. How do you, that's what I'm saying is these old men and these old women on the Supreme Court don't have a science degree and have no idea what a zygote is and what a developed baby is. And that, in fact, that thing they think is a heartbeat in one of those states is not even a heartbeat.
Were they selling the stem cells of these 3-month-old zygotes, as you call them?
No.
So, because they even, maybe it's just a pile of goop to you, but I think they have stem cells that they were using for other types of medical procedures.
No. They come from somewhere else. Okay. Secondly,
cauliflower?
Well, the thing that they're also not taking into consideration is that these mothers then are now being forced to either have a funeral or a burial, have a burial going on, or they're being forced to cremate them, whereas before they could just be disposed of. All right?
They put them in a jar.
No, they didn't put them in a jar. They just disposed of them.
Yeah, they fill it with formaldehyde.
No, they didn't do. They don't.
You ever see these embryos in formaldehyde?
Yeah, but that's you go to a science store and they have those.
Yeah. 7th grade,
Yeah.
They have embryos in jars at a science store.
Well, you know what I'm talking about? A medical
jalapeno
medical supply store, Albert. You know what I'm talking about? Where you go and you can get like petri dishes
You can get a fetus in a jar?
Yeah, I've seen them.
Can I get it online?
I think when I went to high school, my high school,
Not a human
we had
fetus.
one in a jar. Yeah.
My wallpaper's looking
That
good.
sounds like a product.
Yeah,
Fetus in a
it
jar.
looked like the ending. It looked like the end of 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Oh, I love that
But
movie.
little-
The ending is cool.
You can
But
also get those little seahorses.
We're talking about
that,
embryos. I mentioned
I believe I
2001:
get
A Space
I
Odyssey.
I believe the seahorses, but the fetus in a jar. I gotta have that if it's available.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm
you
going
can get
on-
them in a six-pack.
Right
Look
after
for
this, I'm
that.
going online for that.
Yeah.
You just go to
Can I say Alex Bennett
fetusinAjar.com.
sent me?
Fetus are us.
Hi, is this the science
Yeah.
store? Yeah, I'm looking for the
Take
fetus
the
in a jar. Do you still have some? You send me. And
They have them at
Alex
Sharper
Bennett,
Image.
too.
Imagine you
Yeah,
get Phil's voice
sharper
in the
image,
back. I'll
yeah.
take 3 to go.
Yeah.
What flavor?
Wow.
Flavor,
Uh,
look.
And then you can look at it and say, "Fetus, don't fail me now."
Oh, boy.
I got you some listeners.
Time is it?
That lost us a couple, actually.
20 minutes of.
What are you doing? Giving time signals now?
Your friend Albert asked me what time it was.
No, forget it.
Well,
It's time to buy a
Albert,
fetus.
he won't do it now, but Albert used to do the first Donald Trump impression I ever knew anybody did, and it was the best.
I can barely do an impression of my own self.
Yeah.
That's how
But
out I am right now.
Where everybody kind of like when you're doing an impression of somebody, they have a catchphrase or something that you hook onto, and yours was many people have said.
Many people.
Yeah.
That's very good.
Yeah.
That's about all I can do.
Yeah. But
I can go on a roll and do a bunch of it when I'm not as out of my mind as I am
next
right
time
now.
you come on the show, have a couple of beers ahead of time.
Do you want me to have some bits prepared for you?
Would you do that? Would you do that?
So that I'm ready to go?
In fact, could
I'll
you
call
do
you for the show?
Could you
I'll
do
call
some, Could you do something for me? This would be a great help to me with the show, Albert.
Can I give you prep?
A prep sheet.
Prep sheet. That's what I
prep
thought.
Sheet. Every day he did a prep sheet for me, and this thing was a work of art. Okay.
Do I send the invoice to your home or where? Where would you
Oh,
like
no
that?
invoice.
Send it to his landlord.
That's no invoice. It's for sleeping in our guest room.
Well, no, that's friendship. That was friendship. This is business.
I
know
thought
that
it was
producer
pity.
thing I did for many years.
Yeah.
No, I got paid for that.
Did you really?
Yeah, to write those things.
You
yeah, I
weren't
got
doing
paid
that
for
just because you liked me?
I do like you, but I didn't do it just because I like you.
Yeah. Wow.
Because they gave me money to do that. See?
Send the bill to Sirius.
No, he did this prep sheet. It was. I still don't know where you got all the information from.
From various and sundry sources.
Yeah.
That I won't reveal.
I know.
It's a trade secret.
I've tried to recreate it, and I can't even do it.
You know, the prep sheet I did for you was one of the reasons I got hired at Fox Radio.
Yeah.
Because they saw it and they said, I can't believe that you put all this stuff and with little icons that indicate what the story is. You know, like if there was a big gun story, I'd put an icon of a gun. And they said, that's great. None of our people have anything like that. And then I said, okay, I'll take the job. And then I said, no, I'm leaving. I hate this.
Yeah. You held that job at Fox for what? 2 days, something like that? Huh?
2 days.
2 days.
2 days.
2 days. And the reason you left was?
Because I couldn't do my podcast anymore.
Well, they wouldn't let you do the podcast
Right.
for Gabnet.
The one I did before this show.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They
So,
said,
Albert?
you can't do that. And you said, why? And they said, they gave some odd reason. And you said, well, then I'm leaving.
No, they said, well, you have to make a decision by tomorrow. I said, I'll give you a decision right now. I'm not going to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, let me ask you this, Albert. Do you still put Fox down on your resume?
No, that's too short a job.
Oh.
I have so many jobs that aren't on my resume now. It's ever since I left Sirius. I dabble in things for about a day or two, and then I say
He
no.
worked for the post office.
Twice.
Huh?
Oh.
Twice?
Wow.
Twice I worked for the Postal Service.
Do you have to carry an AK-47 to work there?
No, I worked in a different part of the regular guys. We didn't have to deal with the regular.
The riffraff?
Yeah.
Well,
No.
Yeah, he was the part of the non-disgruntled version of the post office.
Right. That's right. It was a temp. It's a seasonal job.
Did you understand working for the post office why postmen go postal?
Yes.
Why?
Oh yeah.
Why is that?
Like machines.
Yeah, they're like machines. They're really not taken care of. I suppose by the union they may be taken care of. I don't know that part, but by people who they work with managerial wise, it's a terrible existence. At least where I was, the places that I saw. I'm not going to say that about the Postal Service all over the country, but I could see why someone would go postal under those conditions.
These people, I go into the post office and you mail one of those second day things, and they always say the same thing. They get the receipt out. This is your tracking number. They underline it. This is the survey. And it's the exact same thing. No matter who you get, which line you're in, you get the same spiel. And they have to do that over and over and over again for 8 hours a day. God knows how many people they see an hour, and they say the same thing. I asked one of them, I says, do you go to sleep at night hearing those words? You know,
But
I mean,
it's not just those people. It's just about everyone I saw in the Postal Service does exactly the same thing over and over and over again with little contact with the other employees that are there. When you think about the letter carrier, stuff in the box, no contact with other people. It's very much like that throughout the Postal Service. And I can see why people who can't handle that just go nuts doing it.
Go nuts doing it. Yeah.
And it happens to be a good living. That's the crazy thing about it.
yeah, for a job like that, you'd have to pay them a good living. Otherwise,
But
they
they're not
wouldn't.
paying them enough. I can tell you that right now.
So,
Yeah.
Charlie, anything you want to ask Albert? You haven't talked to Charlie in a long time, have you, Albert?
No, I'm just
Yeah,
happy to see him.
Umpiring?
No, I had to quit.
I think you told me that last time.
They don't allow people with no toes in baseball.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's his mafia name, Charlie No Toes.
Charlie
I
No
had to quit
Toes.
while I still had my feet anyway.
Yeah.
We lost Ray Renati, so he's calling back. So
He's probably home or he's on his
there
way
he is.
home.
There he
Oh
is.
man,
He left the gym.
no,
Yeah.
I'm here.
Yeah,
I'm here.
yeah.
Still ringing.
Where are you walking?
I'm walking home. My bike. I crashed on my bike.
No, because you were on the show with
Yeah.
the phone.
No,
So
no,
it's
the
Alex's
derailleur.
fault.
The derailleur broke. Why is
Yeah.
it still ringing? Shit.
What do you mean?
What's ringing? No, that's your
why-
head from the
Skype
fall.
is ringing on my side.
Oh, and then he left. Okay.
It doubled up.
And we just lost him again.
He'll come
Okay. All right. He'll come back.
So he's walking his bicycle home because he fell during your show.
Because
We have no pity on this.
because
poor
the
man.
derailleur fell off.
Derailed. Yeah.
Derailed.
Yeah, he got derailed.
Whatever what the derailing thing is. Yeah. So.
I think it's a shifter.
Yeah.
I think it shifts between the gears.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Patrick, you have any question for Albert? Because it'll be the last time we'll see him for 2 years. So go ahead.
No, not really. I mean, he seemed to be happy and all of that. I assume Florida's a temporary deal, and you'll be moving on at some point somewhere else.
Oh no. I'm staying here. So far as I can tell.
Go to
You
a
like Florida?
Huh?
You like Florida?
Yeah, I do.
I've been
it's
giving it
nice,
some.
quiet. The streets are immaculate and drivable, very smooth. It's a whole different thing from being in New York. Not that I didn't love New York while I was there for all my life so far.
When
but,
you come back, though, when you come back to New York, though, you seem to have missed it. You know?
No, there are things that I miss, but those things are quickly going away. Just about every place I go to that used to be a haunt or a good place to eat or something, gone. Just about every one of them. And everywhere I go to every, neighborhood that had a good grit to it, that had some feel to it, some life, it's just getting built up too much. There's too many. Yeah. Not even gentrified.
Well,
Gentrified would be fun because that's a brand new thing coming up. But this is, it's so corporate. That's what's happening to this.
Well, you've even seen a change in my neighborhood since you were here the last time.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Why is it going Christian?
No, we just have gone. It's
That's nice.
It's just really, well, it's very Christian. We got the churches right outside. You heard them on Sunday. I keep wanting.
You know, the one thing about Florida that you probably missed in New York was the early bird specials. But the early bird special used to be at 5 o'clock for dinner instead of 6. Now the early bird special is 11 o'clock in the morning for dinner. You know.
Hey, Albert, can I ask you a question? When you first, was there anything you thought you might have missed leaving New York? Because I'm like you, I've always lived here my whole life. Was there anything you thought like, oh, I'll never be able to get this there or miss something the most?
Pizza, I think, is still a big one, and
Okay.
everybody says that when they go to New York.
I lived in Florida.
Huh?
I lived in Florida when I was in college, and the pizza in Florida is absolutely the worst anywhere in the world. They pride themselves on cardboard tasting better than Florida
Well,
pizza.
I don't like pizza. I know that sounds strange, but
It's just from San Francisco.
Well,
They
no.
don't have
When I
good
was a
pizza here
kid,
either.
they had the style of pizza that I loved, which was really thin crust. You know,
In New York.
you had to double it over in order to eat it, right?
Yeah.
And then they went to the thick crust everywhere, and I stopped really liking pizza. So when I come to New York, that's the only thing that I think I would miss if I left New York were the hookers.
They're not around anymore. They haven't been for years.
Well, I know that's the problem.
Part of the cleaning up of New York. You don't see anywhere where a hooker would want to go anymore. Everything's so clean and glass and steel and ugh.
I wonder how good the hooker business is doing in New York City now. Probably not very well.
It's all internet now. It's not. There's no street walking people
Oh,
anymore.
really? You have to go on to the intranet. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
The interweb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The dark web.
Ask Patrick. He can tell you how it works. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah. How does it
You
work?
hard for me, baby?
How does it work, Patrick?
You type in
RedTube.
I want a hooker, and then websites come up.
That's probably as close as you can get.
Yeah, that's probably pretty accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, now that I think about it, New York, there was maybe on every street, there was at least one whorehouse or some establishment, some apartment that was being used as a brothel. And now, I don't think they even exist that way any longer.
So de Blasio even screwed that up?
Yeah, but fuck de Blasio. Why is he running for president? Can somebody answer me that question? Because everybody else is and he doesn't want to be left out?
He likes to take up space.
He's
He's a tall guy. He likes to show off.
Yeah. I just want the streets taken care of, and take care of New York. Don't go around running for president because you're not going to get it anyway. Why are these people doing this? Is what I don't get. I mean, what a waste of fucking time for most of them.
I know why. Because they raise money, and then they're able to keep that money, not personally, but they can put it towards campaigns and influence other things with the money that they raised. So it's a fundraising.
So
thing,
what is the
You better believe him because he's a Republican. He's talking about money, so he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, because they're very good at money, aren't they?
Well, when they talk about it.
When did you ever hear
build that wall? We got the money.
When did you ever hear of a Republican going bankrupt? When?
See?
Well, Trump's not a Republican. I mean, even a Republican in New York, like Rockefeller, they're not Republicans. They're what do we call them? Rhinos.
Yeah. So why do the Republicans all kowtow to him?
'Cause he's walking the different walk right now.
He's the standard bearer. That's why.
Yeah.
And they have to stick with the party. That's why. That's it.
And
That's
he's
all.
doing a good job.
Well,
What?
he's a
What
standard
was that?
bearer, but can we
Doing
bear,
a good job.
Can we bear any
My
more?
headphones don't work.
Oh, well. Anyway, let's see here. Anything else happening in the news? Well, we got to the people on Everest. That's really stupid. As I say, it looked like Black Friday at Best Buy to get to the top of Everest.
There's a lot more people doing it.
Well, because there are a lot more people who are, what's the word I'm looking for, who are hyping them to go up, that they get the money to outfit them and to send them up there and to, oh yeah, all you do is you walk to the grocery store, right? Oh yeah, all you have to do is go to the top of Everest. Here, we'll help you.
If Hillary could do it, so could anyone else. Next it'll be Biden.
If I were to climb,
Edmund Hillary.
if I were a climber, I wouldn't even do Everest because everybody would go, "What the fuck?" Everybody does Everest. What I would do is I would go to K2. Yeah, nobody's climbing K2.
It's a harder mountain to climb too.
Well, it's harder, especially now, because what they've done is they put in all the ladders and the bridges and everything else that make it much easier for you to get to the top of Everest. Where with
those fucking pussies that go to the top of Everest, those pussies with their ladders.
Why don't you just become a social climber? It's easier, but you might have to learn to drink.
Yeah, I might have to learn to drink, right? But I don't know if I would ever try Everest. I don't know. I can't even walk down to the grocery store, for Christ's sake. So what the hell? By the way, Ray is frozen up there because he's never come back.
He's in Everest.
Yeah. But
on Everest.
That's the other thing I don't like about Skype. It doesn't just drop them. It freezes their picture, and that's the picture that stays there.
Is that because of your
wait a minute. There's
new
Patrick.
tech program?
Has Patrick left us? I think Patrick has left us. I can see her hand moving.
I can hear you breathing. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, boy, this air conditioner. I'm gonna have to get myself an air conditioner that works in here. It's not working like it should. What's the temperature outside? It's only 69 degrees. I don't know.
It's 51 here. Move here, then you won't need it.
Yeah, probably. By the way, you're in Wisconsin, right?
Yeah.
There's a place, quickly, I was watching this show called American Gods, and they filmed it at a place called the House on the Mountain. Do you know about this place? It's a very weird place with like a carousel inside and all kinds of exhibits that are strange.
Yes, that's not what it's called, but yes, I know what you're talking about, and it's almost like going inside of a carnival.
Yes, yes.
The Mad Hatter would have put together.
I thought that was apartment I-8.
No, that's the hookers.
and the apartment is 8I.
8I, I-8.
Yeah, now everybody knows where I live. So come on in, rob the place. It's got lots of equipment in it. Come see me. Hey, Albert, great seeing you again.
It's good to see you.
It's like I never get every week now.
Right.
No, he stayed with me for a week, and he is one of the few people I would allow to stay here for a week because he is so easy to have him come and stay with you. I really enjoyed your stay with us.
Does Albert make his bed?
I enjoyed it more than you enjoyed my stay.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay. If you say so. Anyway, hear that? That's our theme song, ladies and gentlemen. It's called Swing That Jazz Stick. Didn't know that, did you? Anyway, we're going the way of all flesh here in a moment. We want to thank our citizens panel, which tonight has consisted of Ray Renati and Tony in that hideous wallpaper, Charlie Wallace, and of course Albert Reynoso, who I do it more often. Will you, Albert? Yeah. I would love to see you more often. This is fun, and you got nothing else to do in Florida except be nice to your wife.
Go to the early bird special.
Yeah, right. And then there's of course Phil, and there's Patrick. And why don't you all do a big wave goodbye, and I'll wave back to you. Okay? There we go. There they go, folks. Okay. Let me get rid of the citizen panel here. Goodbye, Albert. Albert's waving a big goodbye. I got to get rid of all of them and close this down so the next show can have access to the Skype. Okay? That's it for tonight. I'm Alex Bennett. Stay tuned next over most of the same station for Jack Bishop. He does a program called The Intersection. And then tomorrow night at 8:30 Eastern Daylight Time, it's our sports show, The Arena, with the franchise MC. At 9:30, it'll be Damian Chaplin and The Exchange. And then tomorrow night at 10, we'll be right back here again. Same time, same station in life. And in the meantime, as always, if you see her, tell her I love her, okay? Bye-bye.